Let's go ahead and look at number 3. Number 3 says the graph shows the number of water bottles needed at rest stops at a fundraising 5K race. Express the relationship with an equation. I want to go ahead and give you a couple minutes to go ahead and fill in our data point values for water bottles. At 3 rest stops, how many water bottles are needed? At 3 rest stops, 45 water bottles are needed. Okay, let's go ahead and look at how many water bottles are needed at 5 rest stops. Find 5 on our data. Go straight over, and we are at 75 water bottles. The last data point we have to find is how many water bottles goes with 8 rest stops. Find my rest stops, find 8, go straight up and straight over, and we rest at 120. All right. Let's go ahead and figure out what our process is. Now, instead of rewriting the whole entire process out, I'm going to go ahead and let you shorten it up a little bit. I know I'm starting at 3 and I'm ending at 45. Would that mean I'm going to multiply 3 by a number to get 45, or am I going to divide 3 by a number to get 45? Since we are getting bigger, I know I have to multiply by something. Just as I have to multiply 5 by something to get to 75, and 8 by something to get to 120. I'm not for sure what that number is, so I'm going to go ahead and use inverse operations to solve. What is the inverse or opposite of multiplication? Division is correct, so I'm going to use my numbers 3 and 45 to divide. Since 45 is my final answer, I'm going to go ahead and write that down first, and I'm going to divide that into 3 different groups. Let's go ahead and plug that into your calculator. So you can see 45 divided by 3 equals 15 is what I got. Did you get the same? So I'm going to go ahead and double check that with multiplication to see if I still end up with 45. So 3 times 15 equals 45. My table is correct so far. What number am I going to put in this blank now? 15 is correct because I have to use the same process in a table. Let's plug it in our calculator to see if it's correct. 5 times 15, does that equal 75? It does. What number now do we put in this last blank? 15 is correct. We have to use that same process. Let's plug it into our calculator to see if that's correct. 8 times 15, does that equal 120? It does. We have found our process. Go ahead and try writing an equation using R for rest stop and W for water bottles. I'm going to write R for rest stop first. If I start with my rest stops, I have to multiply that number by 15, so I'm going to write that down, to equal 45. Oops, sorry, not to equal 45, but to equal our water bottles. Made an error. If I wanted to start with a number of water bottles, I know that that is equal to our number of rest stops times 15. Either equation would work.